Pastor Jeff Seymour. It's so good to have you with us again here on this video. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. And I pray that every week we do these, every time we put a new short video out, I pray it's a blessing for you. And we also pray that you'll share it with somebody else and maybe it'll be a blessing for them. Well, as you can tell today, it looks like I'm in my football uniform. Because, you know, it's almost football season, we hope. I mean, with all the things that's been going on with the COVID virus and all the not being in school and those kind of things, it's just got a lot of uncertainty what's going to happen. And but we're hoping and praying that, you know, maybe we can still have some football this fall, especially in our college football. And I say that because, for me, it goes to my heart. I mean, I grew up playing football from a very young age, and I want to share with you as we get started today a story from my college football years. And it was one of those kind of things that really touched me, and I've shared it many times in places. And hopefully it'll be a good example for us today. But I had the opportunity to play with a great bunch of guys. These guys were very gifted, very talented in what they could do and their abilities, and everybody got along really well. And we had this coach that he was kind of about this tall. He was a short guy, but he was like a drill sergeant. I mean, he'd been around in the sports all his life. He was a big motivator. He was a great coach to be under. I mean, he thought about his players most of all on and off the field. He wanted the best for us. He wanted us to excel in life. But he was one of them kind of men. He was tough as nails. I mean, you didn't cross him because you'd find out why. Well, one day at practice, it was one of those hot afternoon practices, and I tell you, we were just going through the motions, literally. It seemed like everybody was just lifeless in what we were doing. You know, it got Coach ticked off. I mean, so much to the point that he said, we're going to the 5-yard line. Well, we knew from experience that if he said going to the 5-yard line, that means we're fixing to line up and start running sprints. Well, we weren't happy about that. But he had something different in mind that day. As we got to the 5-yard line, he said, I want the offense to line up on the 5-yard line going into the end zone. He said, defense, you're on the other side there, and this is what we're going to do. You're going to start running plays, and you're going to run plays until I get tired. And in running these plays, I want you all to give 100%, every play. He said, if you don't, I'm going to stop this whole thing, and we're going to start running. You're going to run till you drop. Now, he said, now, here's the next catch to this. He said, if the offense scores on the defense, well, defense, you're going to run till you drop. Well, he said to the offense, if you don't score, you're going to run till you drop. So bottom line was, somebody was going to be doing a bunch of running. You know, so it wasn't the best of situations. But anyway, we started the scrimmage, and everybody understood the seriousness of what we were fixing to do. And so everybody's giving 100%. I mean, everybody's going all full bore during this time. And we're going back and forth. It's a battle. I mean, for over an hour, it's just back and forth, back and forth. And there hadn't been anybody score. The ball hadn't really moved hardly at all. And we got to that place where you could tell fatigue was really setting in, because we never stopped for a break or anything. It was just one play after another after another. Well, there was a busted play. One of the running backs, he reversed field, and this guy was super fast anyway, and he come back across the grain of everybody, and you could tell he's about to walk into the end zone. It's done deal. Well, that's when it happened. I mean, boom! He hit the dirt. I mean, it was just like he ran into a wall and just crumpled right short of the goal line. And everybody's like, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. One of our backup linebackers who was sitting on the sideline, and it wasn't in the field to play at this time, he saw that this runner was about to score. He came off the sidelines, and he hit that runner with all full force, and he put him in the dirt. Now, I'll tell you, he was so dedicated to the team, especially his defensive team, that he was willing to do whatever to have our backs, to make sure that the opposition didn't score on us. Well, you can imagine what happened with the coach. He went crazy. He ripped this guy for what he did, for coming off the sidelines, for hitting that guy like that. But at the same time, I think he admired him for his willingness and his desire to support his teammates and have their back even though he wasn't in the game. So the coach just looked at everybody and said, look, all you hit the showers, practice is over. Well, praise God, it worked out right then. Now, I share this story because I want to go to something here. I want to ask you a question. Where is that kind of dedication today? Where has the desire to truly have someone's back gone to? Where's the attitude that we're all one together and we should be more concerned to help someone else than we are to help ourselves even if it means those actions may bring some ridicule into our life? You know, it seems like today in our society that it's all about a center focus on ourselves, and it seems like that all we have is people pointing their fingers, people looking at each other and really ridiculing one another instead of standing together, instead of supporting one another. I mean, we see it in politics every time you turn on the TV. We see it in the media going on, stoking the fires of this divisiveness. But we also see it in our communities. We see it in our families. We see it in our churches even. And I'll tell you, when I sit back and think about this, I'm thinking, what's going on here? And really, to me, the bottom line is we've become more concerned about me instead of we. You know, and it should not be that way. I mean, when we start looking at me, ourselves only, that means we're going to start trying to manipulate all the things around us to make sure it feeds me instead of looking out for somebody else. Now, I know that sometimes we think about, well, we've got to take care of our own stuff, and I don't really like that person, or I don't really want to support their views anyway. Well, you know, I understand that there's going to be some people we don't like, and there's going to be some people that we're not going to agree with and we don't want to support. But the thing is, Jesus never told us to point our fingers at others or to curse others or to take a hard, dislike for others. Matter of fact, he told us to pray for our enemies. You say, what? Yeah, that's what he told us to do. In Luke chapter 6, verse 27, 28, is, as I say to you, that those of you that are listening to me, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, ask God to bless the people who are asking for bad things to happen to you, pray for the people who are mean to you. You say, why in the world would we want to do that? I mean, I know it's a tough deal. But see, we got to step back and understand those people that may have the wrong attitude toward us, those people that may have said things against us, those people that we may not like, their actions, they're not the enemy. The enemy is the one that's been influencing them. And we miss this so many times. We look at the person instead of looking at what's influencing them. And see, Jesus told us in John 10:10, the thief has come to steal, kill, and destroy. See, the thief that Jesus was referring to is the devil. He's the one that's the manipulator. He's the one that's bringing decisiveness into our society today. He's the one that's trying to get us to separate ourselves, because he knows that if we're not united, if we're separated, we're not going to be able to stand. We're going to fall. And the devil is the one that right now we need to take a goal line stand against, and we need to put him in the dirt. I'm telling you, he needs to be where he's supposed to be, in the dirt under our feet. You say, well, that's well and good, but how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to tell you, I think we need to come to a place that we need to really get serious about prayer. And I don't mean the prayer of bless me this, bless me that. I mean praying in faith. I mean getting in warrior prayer right now, coming against the enemy with all that we are, united as a people. See, it's not got to be about me. It's got to be we the people again. We've got to come together. I think it starts in the church, having intercessory prayer for one another, for our nation, for the things that's going on, that we stand this gap, that we can defend this goal line right now against this enemy that's trying to score against us. See, if we look back and realize our Constitution started with we the people. The preamble of the Declaration of Independence started with, we hold these truths to be self-evident. See, those founders, our founding fathers, those people that wrote these documents, that put these things together, that started this great Christian nation, they came together, even though I guarantee you, some of them maybe did not like each other. Some of them maybe not agree with each other's opinions and their viewpoints. They knew that they had to be a we together to get us founded as the nation we need to be. And that's where we got to be today. We got to go back to that time of having we the people, not me and myself only. We need that right now in our nation. We need that right now back in our families, in our church houses. We need to see right now that it's not about the red states or the blue states. It's not about this line or that line. It's not about the Baptists or the Methodists. It's about we the people, this Christian nation, under the lordship of Jesus Christ. We need to come together for who we are to take a stand against this enemy that's trying to separate us, is trying to take us down. It's time right now we take this goal line stand. Now, I shared with you at the beginning about my football playing years. You know, one of the things that stood out to me is that linebacker, that backup linebacker, that guy that came off the sidelines to hit that guy before he crossed the goal line that day. He was doing it in support of his team. He had our backs. But the truth be known, there wasn't too many of us that really liked him, because this guy had a very arrogant, boisterous type attitude as a person. But beyond that, his motivation was for his team. He was a team player, and he stood for the team. And that's the one thing, sometimes we won't like this person or we won't like that one because of their attitudes, the way they act. And I tell you, there's many of them out there today that I don't like those things either. But we got to look beyond that. Who is trying to help us to come together as a team? Who is trying to help motivate us in that way? And that's where we got to get back to, is being about we and not me. One of the great lessons I learned in my years of playing football, and I learned many, was that it's more important about we, this team, than it is about me in my own personal life. You know, we got to have that right now. That's what we as a nation were founded on. That's what we got to have back in our lives today, in our daily activities. And I tell you, one of the things I appreciate the most about especially my college years was that every time we finished a practice, every time we finished a game, we as a team would come together, we would huddle up, and we'd take a knee. Every time we'd huddle up and take a knee before we left that field of play. And we did that to come together in prayer. That coach, that motivator, that tough as nails guy, he knew that all of us were gifted by a creator to do what we could do. And we were living in an opportune time right then to display those things and to honor God with what we could do. And he made sure that every time before we left the field, we huddled up, we took a knee together and gave God back the glory for what he did in our life, and to thank him for keeping us safe and giving us the ability to be there. That's what we need right now. We need to huddle up and take a knee together as a nation. We need to huddle up and take a knee together as a church. We need to huddle up and take a knee together as the family, as a family unit even right now, that we can get back to the place we need to be, because we got to take a goal line stand against this enemy right now and stop him from scoring any more on us in Jesus' name. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for tuning in. I pray that God bless you in everything you do, and I pray that you'll come and be back with us again next time.